Have someone said something to you once? Maybe it was a boss, a colleague, a parent, someone whose opinion should have meant nothing. Stay with me. Elena was a furniture maker. Her hands, her workshop in a small town in Vermont, and 30 years of knowing exactly how wood should feel when it's shaped with care. She wasn't famous. She didn't have thousands of followers telling her she was good, but the people who owned her pieces, they never bought furniture from anyone else again. Because there is a kind of quality that you don't find in catalogs. You feel it, under your hands, in the weight of a chair when you sit down, in the way a table stands still, even when the world around it is moving. Elena knew how to make things like that. One beautiful morning, she finished a dining table. No carvings, no decoration borrowed from someone else's idea of beauty, just clean lines, solid oak, and a surface so smooth it caught the light like still water. She stepped back, and she smiled. This one is honest, she thought. This one will last someone a lifetime. That same afternoon, a man came into our workshop. A developer. Sharp coat, polished shoes, the kind of man who measures everything in dollars and first impressions. He walked through her workshop the way some people walk through airports, looking without seeing, present but already somewhere else. Then his eyes landed on the table. "What's this supposed to be?" he asked. His voice was flat, not angry, just certain. "It's plain," he said. "No character. I could find something like this at any big box store." Elena named her price. He laughed, not kindly. "For that? You're not serious. There's nothing here that justifies that number. I've seen apprentices produce better work." And then he left. Elena stood alone in her workshop, the sawdust still hanging in the air. The table still sitting there, unchanged, exactly as she had made it, exactly as honest as it had always been. But something inside her had shifted. She started questioning things she had never questioned before. Maybe my work is ordinary. Maybe I've been fooling myself all these years. Maybe I'm not as good as I believed. She began making different things, adding flourishes that weren't her, ornate edges, decorative carvings, details she didn't believe in, trying to become what that one man said she wasn't. But the work felt hollow. Her hands knew it before her mind could admit it. You know that feeling, don't you? When you're working but something inside you has gone quiet, when the joy has left your hands. That's where Elena was. Days passed, then a week. She couldn't stop hearing him, and somehow it had become louder than 30 years of people who had loved what she made. That is the strange and terrible power of a harsh word spoken at the wrong moment. It doesn't have to be true to hurt. It just has to arrive when your guard is down. One evening, a gray autumn evening, the kind where the light gives up early, a woman came into Elena's shop. She was in her late 50s. She moved slowly, not because she was frail, but because she had nowhere to rush to. The kind of calm that only comes from having survived hard things. She didn't browse. She walked directly to Elena's table, the same table the developer had dismissed, and she placed both hands flat on the surface. She closed her eyes. "This," she said quietly, "this is the one." Elena hesitated. "Someone told me it wasn't special enough," she said softly. The older woman looked up. "Special enough? For who?" "Let me tell you what I see," the woman said. "I see someone who understands that strength doesn't need to announce itself. This table will hold Sunday dinners. It will hold homework and arguments, and birthday cakes, and the long, quiet breakfasts after someone you loved has gone. It will still be standing when everything else in the room has been replaced. The man who couldn't see that? He wasn't looking at your table. He was looking at his own reflection, and he didn't like what he saw. She reached into her bag and placed something on the counter between them. A small piece of smooth oak. Other people's blindness, she said gently, is not your limitation. Elena watched her leave, and for the first time in weeks, she walked back to her workbench without the weight. The next morning, Elena came in early, before the light, before the town woke up, before anyone else had an opinion about anything. She didn't make anything fancy. She made what she knew. Clean, honest, built to last. Because she had finally understood something that changed the way she held herself from that morning forward. The developer's words had felt like a verdict, but they were never a verdict. They were just weather. And you need to hear this, because someone has said something to you too. Maybe recently, maybe years ago, maybe so long ago you've forgotten where it came from. You just know that it's there, somewhere in the back of your mind, still running quietly in the background. And I want you to know, you have been shaped by years of showing up, by failures that taught you things. Months later, the developer called Elena. He had seen her work in someone's home. He wanted to place an order. He told her he had misjudged her. She was polite, professional, grateful even. But inside, she felt nothing. Not because she was cold, not because she hadn't forgiven him, but because she had finally stopped measuring herself by a ruler she never should have borrowed. And that is what freedom feels like. So here is what I want you to do. Before you check your phone or your messages, look at yourself. A truth, something you already know. I have survived hard seasons. I show up even when it's difficult. My work carries the weight of real effort. I am still here. Say it out, in your own voice. Let your own voice be the first one you hear today. Do this for a week, and watch how differently you carry yourself into every room. If this story found you at the right moment, share it with someone who needs to hear it today. Leave a comment and tell me, what is the one true thing you will say to yourself tomorrow morning? I will read every single one. Subscribe so we can keep walking this road together. I'll see you in the next story.